I'm tired. But everybody's tired. I'm going through a weird time right now. I just got the organ cut out of my body. I'm not sure if I needed to or not. Nothing's clear. Nothing's direct. There are no answers. Did I earn this? Did I do this to myself? Nobody knows. This is your world now. Welcome to the club. Do you know how Worcestershire sauce got its name? Back in the saloon days out west, cowboys would sit down to eat and ask the waitress, "Ma'am, what's this here sauce?" Sometimes magic can just happen like that. But first, you have to get lost in the sauce. But I did just drop this fire new song. It's JEDTHESLOTH, the MILF hunter. How your mama now? And I just dropped my new single, ALPHAMILF. ALPHAMILF comes from the MILF Hunter saga. It started out in 2019 as just a little documentary series, and then it grew into a life of its own. People all over the world love the MILF hunter. Above all else, I'm a storyteller. And the more my creative journey goes along, I realize that I'm gonna have to share knowledge. So I've been trying to make more of these cinematic style BTS videos so I can reach out and share knowledge and form a sense of community. I came up with the term alpha MILF sometime last year when I was seeing the resurgence of the term alpha male all over social media and online. I have an idea for a more elaborate video for ALPHAMILF, but maybe that'll come in time. But for now, I got inspired. So I grabbed my camera and my lights. So here's how I did it. So first and foremost, I'm a lone ranger most of the time. I'm by myself all the time. Over time, I've had to adapt and learn how to do that. Each time I shoot by myself, I learn something new. And watching other great creatives never falter on your vision. The vibe Alpha MILF is sort of like a Grand Theft Auto sort of vibe. It's this early 80s, late 70s kind of aesthetic. RoboCop, Total Recall, Blade Runner, classic stuff. In this case, Alpha MILF's pink and teal. So I used my two, I don't know the name of my light. WHITEDIRT RB08P LED lights. My buddy John Taylor actually put me on these years ago. He had a couple of them himself, and I was always borrowing them. So finally, I bought some myself. Back then, I think these were like $70 a piece. Probably go and find these for like 40 bucks for two, maybe. They're a very, very budget option. I love them. I use them all the time. They're like the easiest thing. They're hard to mount. They have this screw mount at the bottom. You've got to find you something that they flex on. But me, I like them. I like to just keep them handy. And something that I like to do is put and I adopted this recently. I like to put a brown grocery bag over them. 1, 2, 3, however many you need. You can modify that light and refract that light, dampen it, dullen it, take a bag off, move it around. You can almost set these things wherever. Pretty much get the desired light you want for most solo shooting. So for this particular shoot, I used the two lights, one pink, one teal, and two newer stands. One of the stands, the light screws on better than the other, so I have to deal with all that kind of rig stuff all the time. Shout out shitty rigs. I'm big on like damp lighting. I'm not big on shadows and harsh lights. But I had the house lights completely turned off and was only using colored lights with these two LEDs. So that can be challenging at times. So these Mathern's grocery bags, shout out Mathern's in Baton Rouge. These grocery bags, they're just so easy. There's just an easy solution. I'm big on that. I'll grab things from all around my environment to use them. I'll use just random stuff I have to prop up and stuff like that. So I use the pink light to kind of illuminate the sphere of the room, and the teal light, what would you call that? A fill light to hit me in my face. Pause. But one thing that you always have to watch out for is like hard surfaces. So I knew I wanted to shoot against the blinds. The window frame was hard wood, and you're gonna catch that LED light in that wood, and you just have to play around with it. Having a way to monitor yourself, which I don't have a wireless transmitter and a wireless follow focus yet. Hopefully we'll get to that. I started off seating. I didn't really know exactly how I wanted to be. I knew the vibe of what I was going for, and I just played around with angles. I just had fun with it. But I had to move some furniture around, and I had to do a little bit more work than I was hoping for. As my boss would say, I sprayed it down. I shot this on my baby, my A camera, my savior. One day I want to do a video called Z-Cam Saved My Life. My Z-Cam E2 M4. And I shot it on my Sigma 18 to 35. I've been shooting my play ball music video on my Vazen 40mm anamorphic lens, which is my dime. That's my prized possession. That requires a hot swap, so you have to swap the entire front plate off the camera. I just didn't have time to do all that. And the Sigma 18 to 35, very clinical, very clean. You can depend on it. The image quality of it's amazing. It's an easy lens to use because you can go wide at 18 and you can push in at 35. For what I was doing, I'm not gonna need much more than that. Z-Cam, man, I love it. Also, I've been trying to do more BTS stuff, so I purchased a GoPro Hero 9 Black. I haven't used it that much yet. I can just throw it up. I have a stand. I can just let it sit wherever. So far, so good. I don't know much about it yet. Maybe I'll have a whole video for it. Nonetheless, I was able to catch these other angles, and I can pick it up if I want to. So it's gonna be great for BTS. You see me? I'm somewhat of a part-timer when it comes to white dirt and my YouTube and all the creative things that I do. A lot of days I'm working after a long day, late and low energy. And I'm sure that goes the same for a lot of creators out there. But on the flip side, I work a pretty sick job in the daytime. One that I get placed in positions with opportunities that I wouldn't normally have access to. I mean, this week I got to film a little Boosie. Mom, little Boosie. You know what the old folks always say? It ain't what you know, it's who you know. And all I know is that I'm gonna put myself in the right position, and we about to make this magic happen. On a hot Louisiana summer evening in 2008, a young JEDTHESLOTH sat at the house, wondering what is he gonna do with his life. The phone rings. It's his high school football coach, and he says, "Jed, get your behind down to the school right now. You'll never believe it. There is a college coach from Tulane University here, and he's looking for a long snapper." So I hopped in my mama's 1991 Benz, and I shot down in my high school. Okay, I know this sounds like the climax of a happy story, but it's actually the beginning of a long story that gets really sad. But I feel sort of like I went through the Mages Guild. When I'm low on energy, I find a way to duck off and dual wheel restoration. Just when I thought I had enough, I download the video to my phone and think, you know what? This bitch needs some captions on it. So I wrote, filmed, and edited the ALPHAMILF performance video all in one night after work. It took me about 4 to maybe 5 hours total to do it all. I made a vertical 16:9 Instagram reel, TikTok, anything for social media. I spent probably an extra hour running it through an app called CAPTIONS. Now, I have a love and hate relationship with the app CAPTIONS. Whenever your eyes see words, you automatically engage, no matter if you care about the content or not. If you see a billboard or a speed limit sign, you're gonna read it subconsciously. It's almost hard not to read it. So that's the number one reason why I put captions in my Instagram reels. Number two reason is I was called out by a deaf community, and they said, why don't you have captions on your stuff? This is excluding us. And you know what? They're 100% correct. Captions can also be fun, especially in rap songs, where if you want to accent your lyrics, especially for ALPHAMILF, there's a lot of bars in that song that I really want people to notice. And I've already had people coming to me telling me their favorite line in the song and stuff like that. As previously stated, I have a love-hate relationship with the Captions app. But I'll talk about what I like about it first. It's AI. So it can seamlessly and easily transcribe audio for your social media content. Technically, this is a game changer. Now I put captions on my stuff, when previously I was hesitant to type out subtitles for an entire project. Another good thing is this app is impressively accurate. It catches some phrases that I never would have thought that it would have known what I was saying. Granted, it isn't great for personalized speech, but I'll get to that in the content section. It also has really good and easy to select templates. If you want all your words to be purple and glowing, you can do that. If you want just straight up Times New Roman and white, you can do that. If you want only certain words to be yellow, you can do that. Different fonts, personalized, custom, all sorts of things. And there's not too many to pick from to where it's overwhelming. So it's pretty simple to use. Also, there's plenty of options to emphasize words, as the app calls it. If you want a word to be huge, or if you want it to float, if you want it to stand out, like you want something to say really big and you want the word to be big, or you want lightning to go around it. And lastly, it's an app designed for social media. It's easy to use for social media content on your phone. For me, it works best at the end of my workflow. It's usually the very last step before I post a piece of content to social media. First of all, and the most important thing the app can do better, the timing and length of your captions is unreliable. So you may have to end up doing tedious editing in a cumbersome app, depending upon what you're going for. A lot of times it'll get my words correct, but it won't have them matching up with the video. For instance, in ALPHAMILF performance video, when I'm saying I need an ALPHAMILF, I need the captions to time up with that. and it's not really doing that, as well as the length of the captions, how long the word stays on the screen. A lot of that needs to be fine-tuned. For this particular video, like I said, it took me about an extra hour to get all that right. Secondly, on the flip side to catching phrases that I didn't expect it to catch, it also misses or misspells easier phrases that I assumed that it would catch. Sometimes you don't even notice it misspelled something. You're not even looking for it. The word was so easy and it tricked me. It really struggles with personalized speech. I have a song called Play Ball, as well as a podcast, and this video is about my song ALPHAMILF. Captions has no idea that I mean play ball, P-L-A-Y-B-A-W. So it thinks I'm saying ball, B-A-L-L. And then MILF, it doesn't catch the word MILF. So every time it says alpha milk with a K. And my song ALPHAMILF repeats the term ALPHAMILF over and over and over. Sometimes I've posted videos and then after the fact noticed it misspelled something or it said something wrong. So I'd have to take the video down, go back into the captions app, fix that, or post it again. But I've definitely had to re-edit stuff and hold off on posting certain stuff. Also, adding non-transcribed text is not as fluid as I'd like it to be. Mainly words that you didn't say or emojis. It's not very spelled out how to do it. I'll type an emoji to add to it 100 symbol or something like that, and I won't know quite exactly where it's gonna be. Take me back to my first point, how long the timing is gonna be right. It just adds steps to the workflow. Another thing is it isn't exactly clear how to resize individual pieces of text, or if it's even possible at all. A lot of times a word will be too long and I'll have to squeeze it in, but then the entire text all the way across the video will now be closed in. I wish you could just do that one word. You know, the word MILF hunter is pretty long across the screen, so you might need it squeezed in some, but then a smaller word or sentence will now be way too small. So if anybody knows, that could be user error. If anybody knows how to do that, please let me know, or either captions, maybe you can update that. This is a very minor thing, but it's something I wanted to bring up. When more than one person is talking in the video, the AI is forced to choose one or the other. So if it isn't the piece of dialogue that you were going to choose, you're going to have to not only delete what it did choose and then type in what you wanted to say. And that's 2 added steps. A small thing, but something noteworthy. And the last thing is sort of just an opinion. It's $10 a month subscription. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the subscriber model, but I understand there's an argument for it. Of course, I'm more of an open source kind of guy. I wish everything was free and open to creators in the community, and then, you know, the community could resource it, you know, or there's other ways. But I get it. You got to make money to maintain these apps. They cost money, especially when you get guys on YouTube talking about, hey, can this be better? Can this be better? Can this be better? So is it worth $10 a month? Sure, I pay it. So in conclusion, Captions is an effective AI tool for adding captions to your social media content on the back end of your workflow. I recommend it for shorter content without much personalized speak. But no matter what, expect at least some editing. You know, I hear a lot of artists say, I'm an artist. I'm not a content creator. I'm not some machine that's just born to push out social media posts. And to those people, I have a question. Well, what is an artist then? Because in my opinion, an artist is someone that creates art. So to make content such a dirty little word, to me, you're really just projecting an insecurity. And I get it. As artists, we just want to create. And we don't want to feel the pressure to have to be liked or be the right thing that's worth our time. You want it to be worth it to you. And we damn sure don't want to waste our time on this beautiful earth. When I was young and I was being molded into a football player in high school, I was told constantly, you got to get mean. Jed, you're not mean enough. My coaches, my peers, and even my mom would always tell me, you got to get mean. So I started working my ass off. I spent every single minute of every day trying to prove to everyone else that I was good enough. I was mean. So I would go off to play Division I college football, and every last one of those people would stay in my small town. Fast forward to whenever I'm in the working world, and I'm finally pursuing my own passion. One of my coworkers would always tell me I was so mean. Why are you always so mean to me? Everything you say is so mean. It's always an attack. You're always battling me. And minus the soft Gen Z attitude, he had a point. Maybe I was mean. But see, the thing about it is, I couldn't prove to these people that I was mean enough. And the more and more I tried, I was too mean for these people. At the end of the day, you'll never be good enough for everybody else. But your time is worth it, as long as you're good enough for yourself.